Let's try this again. Y'all, that's the first time that's happened to me with all this page switching that you have to do now with the Facebook platform. It's insane. And I just knew I was on my business page because of how it all set up. And then I'm like, this is not right. And then I even got a message from Tracy says, you're on your personal page. I thought something is not right here. So please come in, you guys. Say hello. Now I bet I can pull myself up on my business page. Mercy gracious. Y'all. All this page switching that you have. Okay, let's mute that. We don't want to hear that in stereo. So y'all come in, say hello. There's my friends. Now I'm seeing comments. How are y'all? Please tell your friends that we're here and we're going to do something different tonight. So you guys, Tracy, I realized when I wasn't seeing anything on my business page, and then just as you messaged me, I realized what was happening. I'm like, oh, I've never done that before. Gone live on my personal page thinking I was on my business page. Crazy. Okay, so listen, last night I had this idea for a little carrot pillow, and it was a hot mess because I was trying to do the no-sew version, and apparently my fabric tack or whatever fabric glue I have is old and needs to be pitched, and I need to get some new. And then I tried the hot glue. It just kind of was a mess, but this one did turn out the best. But what I thought I'd do tonight is I would take another stab at it and actually bring y'all over to my sewing machine. I'm on the sewing side of my studio because last night I mentioned that I'm also a seamstress, and they're like, what? You're what? And I'm like, well, now don't get all crazy because I'm not like, I don't sew clothes and stuff. Hey, Lori and Leona. Oh, hey, all my friends. I'm so glad y'all are here. Y'all, I don't get all crazy with the sewing. I don't do clothing, but I like to sew crafts and quilts and things, embroidery, applique, things like that. They're really fun and pretty things. So I took my same little pattern. I created my own little pattern, and that's a mistake, that line right there, so don't pay attention to that. But I just made it out of some cardboard, and I'm making these cute little carrots. Now let me show y'all. I really kind of just whipped this together, but I did this on my sewing machine, and there's a couple of different styles. And then if we have enough time, I also want to show you how you can hand stitch it and not have to worry about whether or not you have a sewing machine. But I thought you might like to see both. It's something different, right? So this is one that I did tonight, and I did it where you put the pretty sides together, the right sides together, and then you turn it inside out. You've already got your little ribbons for the little green parts of your carrot. And then I went ahead and I did the little bow here, but instead of a button, I put the pearls on there this time, and I thought they turned out super cute. But this is a little different fabric. I went to Hobby Lobby today, and I just bought about a half a yard of a couple of different things. But then this one is the one that we did last night. This is done with hot glue. So see, you can do it different. But I wanted to show y'all this cute little feature. This is the wired ribbon that I was showing y'all last night that you can use and cut it up and make, more narrow strings with it. But the cool thing about the wired ribbon is you can curl it up and then make these kind of twist and be all cute. See that? Look how cute. And it just gets kind of spirally. You just twist that on up, and it makes them a little bit different and precious, right? Hey, Carolyn and Jessica and Minnie and Lori. I think I've got everybody. Michelle, Wiley, Texas Breeze, Tracy's excited I'm sewing. I've been talking about doing this forever, and it's just like, okay, it's time. Let's do this. So I thought I'd do a couple of things. I thought we'd do sewing, one that's more like this, but with stitching instead of hot glue. And then, y'all, I thought it would be really cute. Now, you're going to have to tell me yes or no. But I'm envisioning this being like these little carrots being in a dough bowl or something cute for spring. So I thought, how cute would it be to have the reverse? Have the green as the body, and then have some orange as the tassels. What do y'all think? Would that be cute? I thought it would kind of go together really well. Hey, Terry. Hey, Beth. Thank you for sprinkling. Trisha, how are you doing? Y'all, we've got a room full. We got 52 friends here. Now, I've got y'all turned down where you can kind of see my cutting area. These are some extras that I cut out because I kind of like to cut out several at once. It saves time. So I'm just going to stick them right here for safekeeping. We're going to go ahead and cut out this green so you can kind of see that process. And what I've done is we need to put the right sides together, the pretty sides together. And this is straight from Hobby Lobby. I haven't done a thing to it. I've just brought it home and taken it out of the sack. And we're going to fold it in half lengthwise, okay? Here's our fold. And then we're going to fold it in half again because I want to trim off the selvage. And let me get my corners matched up on this other end, and that will kind of help it all lay correctly. Now, I love using these cutting mats for several reasons. Not only are they keeping your surface safe, but I use these lines that are on here to make sure everything is straight, to make sure my fabric is straight. And then the other thing I use are these acrylic rulers because it also helps me to make sure that I'm making a straight cut, okay? And then I use a rotary cutter a lot of times. So some of this we're going to be able to use the rotary cutter and some of it we can't. So I want to show you, I hope I can get in the camera view. So my fold is here and I'm going to line it up with one of these lines so that I've got the fold straight. And I know y'all can't see everything, but I'm just going to try really hard. Let me see if I can get right through here. And then I'm going to take my acrylic ruler and I'm trying to get rid of this raw edge, okay, and make it all nice and neat. And I wish I could get better camera angles. I need a person in here with me because I can't get all the things to sit in the right places. So I'm using my rotary cutter. This is a pretty thick cut, so I'm going to have to go a couple of times through it. Well, it might help to have it extended a little bit. So I'm kind of taking it slow. This is pretty thick, and I'm going to go a couple of passes right against my acrylic ruler, making sure I cut through all of that. And I did it. So I'm going to toss that in the trash. So now I'm going to take my little pattern that I made with the cardboard, and somewhere it's here. I know there it is. See, I knew it was here. It was just hiding. So then I'm going to take my little pattern that I made. I'm going to make sure I'm getting all of it in here. And I'm just going to trace it out. Y'all, I learned to sew back in the day where you got the pattern envelopes. They still sell them like that, by the way. And you had the seam allowances and the tissue, you know, the thin tissue that you would use to cut everything out. Let's see, I'm trying to decide because I don't like wasting fabric. That's kind of a thing for me. So I'm going to go this direction and try to get these as close together as possible. And I'm going to use my rotary cutter. And back in the day when I was learning to sew, you had to pin that tissue paper down to your fabric, and and then you cut it out by hand, and it just was a long process. And I don't like doing zippers. I don't like doing buttonholes, and that's why I don't sew clothing. That's it right there. Have I made any memory pillows? You know, Sheila, I have not yet, but it interests me. I have an aunt that she does those things. In fact, she's made an entire memory quilt. My mother was just telling me this week that she took one of their brothers that passed, and he has a son that passed away, and she took some of their shirts, and she has made a memory quilt. So I'm kind of going with my rotary cutter like this because there's so much thickness here. And before I pull away my acrylic ruler, I make sure I did get through all the thicknesses. And I'm doing my straight lines first. So tell me, do you guys sew? I'm going to try to change the camera around a little bit too when I come to the sewing machine. Making sure I got through all the thicknesses. What are y'all saying? Michelle did sewing in home ec. Patty wants to know how to make a quilt. You are excited to see this? Oh, I'm so glad. Hey, Cheryl. We are sewing tonight, y'all. Let's see. What else are y'all saying? Katie, how are you, girlfriend? Hey, Mary Lou from Iowa, and Barbara, and Twyla, and Diane. Have I ever made pillows? You love making pillows and baby blankets. I have. I've made, let's see, I made a quilt, a full-size quilt for my daughter. I made a very large baby blanket for my niece. I've made a very large baby blanket for my oldest granddaughter, and I've got one almost finished for my youngest granddaughter. But I can't find it. It's boxed up somewhere in this house, and I just have to find it. And it's terrible because it's really pretty. And I had most of it done, except for the quilting part, and I'll machine quilt it. Nothing fancy on the machine quilting, just kind of stitch in the ditch, kind of sewing. So I'm using my hand scissors to kind of go around. Whoops, got one little piece right there to kind of go around this curve. And won't those make cute carrots? And then if we take this orange gingham and make those the tassels, I think that would be cute to pair it with that in a dough bowl. Let's see, let me get back to the most recent comments. You're going to trace a pattern from your favorite nightgown. Really? That's a good idea because you know it fits and you like that style. Oh, Cynthia, that is so cool. And Lori loves crocheting lap covers. That's neat. Joan loves to sew. She sewed dog. Let me tell you, I do. This is one thing I do want to do. I've been looking, y'all. I want to make some dolls for my girls. I think I've even purchased on Etsy a doll pattern that I really liked. I haven't slowed down long enough to do it. But I'm very interested in sewing dolls, making some dolls. You want to make your daughter a memory pillow? That's cool. I was trying to see how many friends we've got in the room. We got 65. All right, I'm just going to use my scissors just to cut out this last thickness of carrots. And then I'm going to turn y'all around to my sewing machine. Hopefully I can get it just right. If y'all will bear with me because it's going to be rocking the camera and all that good stuff. Now, I'm just going to tell y'all, I just know how to sew to get by, really. I don't claim to be an expert. I learned from my mother and from home ec, and I did okay. But really, I think I started to improve my sewing skills when I started doing things that really interested me. And clothing does not interest me. I admire people who do sew clothes because I'm just not wired that way. And let me cut this little section off while I'm right here. Okay, now let's get this out of the way. And then we're going to do a couple of things. Let's see. While we're here, let's go ahead and cut, because we're going to have to put this in a particular place on our sewing machine, okay? So I'm just going to use, and this is wired ribbon also, so I'm going to show y'all. I'm just going to cut a couple of lengths, thinking about how long I want these cute little things to be. Now I'm going to say the fabric of this ribbon is stiffer than this organza looking stuff, but this is wired, so that helps it to curl. Then I'm just going to take my rotary cutter, make sure I can get in the camera here, and I'm going to cut it into thirds. I'm not going to follow a line. I'm just going to kind of wing it and make it thirds. And that's going to give us 6 little tassels that we're going to put in our carrot. There we go. Now, I've got one little string that didn't cut, and see if we can just snip it. There we go. Okay, so I think first I'm going to show y'all how to do the one. Oh, I left my quilt batting on the other side over there. I'll have to go get it. Okay, so this fabric, it's really similar, the wrong side and the right side, the pretty side and the dull side. So I'm just going to guess that these are the right sides, okay? the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to stitch this right on top. We're not going to worry about turning this one inside out. So I'm going to get all of this together and put it over here on my machine. Then I'm going to try to get y'all in position so you can see what's happening. Hopefully this will work pretty good. Now, I can't get it real close, y'all, so I'm so sorry. Get my little thingy to be sort of straight. Can y'all see halfway decent? You would love to share? Well, honey, share. Do I have a group to post pics in? I do. It's Jeremiah Dreams, Create and Share. That's exactly what it's called. So, yes, absolutely. Hey, Melanie. Minnie says her mother was an excellent seamstress and made all their... Listen, my mother did too. My mother even made our jeans. Man, she was a very good seamstress. Okay, so now I'm going to take my ribbons and I'm going to try to arrange them a little bit like I want them to stick out of my little carrot. Okay? And there's no right or wrong way. You just kind of wing it. And then I'm going to stick it right between my layers, and I want it to come down enough. Can y'all see? I'm so sorry, y'all, if y'all can't see better. I'll try to get a little closer. I'm going to stick it inside enough so that it'll be well within our little pillow, our carrot pillow. Then I'm going to bring my other one, my other layer right here on top. Now I'm going to take another glance at my ribbons to make sure they're kind of situated the way that I want them to be, so that when we sew through them, they're going to kind of be doing what we want. So I'm going to start at the top of my carrot. And whenever I sew, I just let my presser foot, this is the presser foot. Man, I so wish I could get y'all closer. Let me try something real quick. Y'all, hang on. I'm going to try to clip y'all to my laptop. There's so many wires of everything. Just bear with me a minute. I really want y'all to see. There's something hanging. Oh, I know what it is. This right here. Hang on. If y'all fall. That happened the other night. Everything fell. Here's what was holding it up. Okay, let's see if we can't get y'all a little bit closer. I've got y'all clipped to my laptop. Whoops, we want to go this way. Okay, what do y'all think? Is that better? You do, Sheila? Okay, hopefully y'all can see. So this is the presser foot. Y'all can't see the presser foot. Siri was wanting to help me. If we do this again, we'll try to get this camera situation a little bit better. Okay, so you want to put your needle in, and then I'm going to make a few stitches. And most sewing machines have a back stitch, and you're just going to do a few back stitches. So we're going to kind of go around the shape, and we're going to go all the way through all of our layers. And we're going through all those ribbons. And then when I come over here to my other corner, I want to make that curve. So what you have to do sometimes is kind of stop and lift your presser foot and let it kind of ease in. But anytime you do that, you want to be sure that you're lifting or that your needle is in your fabric. And you just keep turning and go slow. It's not a race. And then we go straight down one side. And as we come to the point, we're going to stop where we think about 1/4 inch is. And it may not be perfect, but that's okay. And then we're going to come up part of the way on the other side. But we're going to have to leave a hole large enough to put our stuffing in. Now my machine cuts the thread by press of a button, which is really a cool feature. So now I'm going to leave enough of a gap, so I'm going to slide on up. And I'm going to start my stitching and do a back stitch. And then we're going to come and we're going to round off this corner. I probably should have started there. I wasn't thinking. I was so intent on what I was saying, I wasn't thinking it through. So we're just going to kind of ease that corner, make it round, and then try to get right back in our same stitching lane and do a back stitch or two. And then come forward just a couple of stitches, and that should take care of that. Okay, so now this is what we have right there. So this is a baby lock. This is a small baby lock. I have a bigger one behind me that I use for quilting and embroidery and applique. But this is a smaller one. So back when, you know, everybody was looking for face masks and all that, that went viral for me, and I had like, I don't even know how many face masks I made. And that's when I had to invest in a second machine, because I had one machine going with one aspect of it and another machine going with another aspect of it. And I even had a lady from church come and help me. Y'all, I got to go get this stuffing. I'm trying to see if there's something right here I can use, and I don't think there is. Nothing that I'd be willing to part with anyway. So let me go grab my stuffing on the other side. Hang on. Sorry, Baxters. Okay, and so I'm still using my quilt batting. All right, I'm going to kind of pull y'all around a little bit so y'all can kind of see. And I'm just going to take a little bit at a time, and we're just going to do little sections of it. And we're just going to stuff it. I have no idea what time it is, y'all. Okay, 9:25. We're doing fine. Oh, the hole's on this side. So I'm going to start with going to the furthest point, which is at the top, and we're just going to stick it in one corner. You can also buy the polyfill. This is just what I have. I should have bought some polyfill today while I was at Hobby Lobby, and I just didn't think about it. I was doing good to think about what I thought about. Hey, Sheila. Oh, girl. Okay, I understand. So, Katie asked if these sell as a kit. If you all are interested in a kit, I could. I was kind of trying to think earlier what I would do if I made it a kit. If you think you're interested in a kit that I'm thinking would include everything you need to make 2 carrots, will you tell me? And I will see what we can do about that. Or if you want to buy them already finished, let me know that too, because we can make that happen. I was telling y'all I do embroidery, so I've got a baby blanket that I've got to do this weekend. And I don't do a lot of embroidery. I get, basically, my daughter's friends will have me embroidery stuff for them, and that keeps me about as busy as I want to be on the embroidery side of things. Different patterns, yes. I'm going to show y'all. We're going to get this one done and pair it with the one I have finished. Okay, so now we're ready to close up our opening. See, it didn't take very much at all. And so we're just going to try to get that stuffing to move away enough. Can y'all see? I hope. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. We're starting kind of at the point. Where's my pedal? Woo, I couldn't get it to go. Do a few back stitches, and we're going to sew through and close this sweet thing up. and try to get back to where it all meets up near the top. So when you leave your opening, be sure you leave an opening large enough that you can put your fingers through to do the stuffing part. Okay, so here's our carrot so far. I think it's really cute. And I love the fraying. I think that adds to it. So with using the wired ribbon, can y'all, I'm always worried y'all can't see. We're going to just kind of roll the ribbon up and then kind of pull it out and kind of twist it so it has some curl to it and just gives it some interest. Michelle would be interested in the kit, and you love the reverse pattern, so you would probably get one of each. I was kind of thinking, trying to put some numbers together on what the kit would be and how much. So send me a private message, and I will also try to make it available in my Etsy shop, but just send me a private message and we'll go from there. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Addie. I'm glad y'all love this. Could you see some of my embroidery? I don't have any because I sell it all. I do. I don't have anything that I could show you. Let's see if I can get this to twist. And so these that don't have any wire in them, I will cut them a little shorter so they're not just flopping loose. And probably put a little angle on them. Those are the middles, and then they kind of stand up a little bit better. And then when you couple it, and we're going to put more embellishment on this too, but then when you couple it with both of the patterns, I think when you put an arrangement like this in a dough bowl or something, isn't that cute? Won't that be cute to kind of put several of those in a dough bowl? So if y'all are interested in these, send me a private message. Let's see, I want to go ahead and embellish this one while we're here. And let me turn y'all back around so y'all can see this other area, because I can't really do it on my sewing machine's part. I'd be afraid I get glue all over it. Get this to bend. We'll do better next time, y'all. How's that? That's better. Okay, so let's work on embellishing. Let me try something real quick, because I can't get this ribbon to twist to my liking. So I'm just going to try rolling it on this pin and then kind of just pull it that way. That might work a little bit better. You did eggs and cut them out with pinking shears. Isn't that cute? Very cute. Very cute. Thank you, Esther. Hey, Sonia. I'm glad y'all are enjoying this. You know, I have talked about doing sewing projects, and I've just been hesitant. I think nobody's going to want to see that. And then it's the logistics of it, too, with y'all being able to see. You can already see I've had to do some switching around so that y'all can kind of see. But I need a cameraman. That's what I need. So I'm just kind of rolling this wired ribbon around an ink pen and then just trying to pull the center out so that it keeps that curl. Kind of like that. Okay. Now, let's put a cute little bow on here. And my bows are not super fancy. I'm just basically folding over. But I want to think about how large I want my bow to be. And I'm just going to fold it like that and just cut it. And here's some wire. I thought I had some other wire cut, but guess not. We're just going to cut a little bit of wire. Can't use my fabric scissors. My other scissors are too far away. We'll improvise. I don't like doing this too much. I'm picky about my scissors, y'all. Picky. So I've just got all that looped around and folded, and I'm just going to wire the center, cinch it up in the middle. like so. Okay, then I'm going to kind of fluff it out and get it in a little better position, especially with the tails. We want our tails kind of coming in the same direction, kind of like this, okay? Just like this. Hey, Regina! Needing prayers. Oh, I'm sorry, Addie. Bless your heart. Goodness. All right. I'm just kind of trimming off the excess. And I'm just going to kind of fold it back a little bit. Then we're going to take some hot glue. If I can get a hold of it. And then we're just going to put our little bow right through here. And I'm going to hold it here for just a second. Just to kind of let that grab on. Hey, Latrice. Just kind of letting that cool for just a moment. And then I'm going to put some little pearls on here. You can do a button. I did buttons last night. Ugh, trying to reach the holder there. So today I'm just in a pearl mood. So I'm just going to put 3 little pearls together. Let me hold them here just for a second. Thank you, Rosie. I know, Rosie. I did not. I love you too, Latrice. Okay, so here's our little green carrot. Ooh, glue string. And so we've got a couple of styles here that when you get like a basket or a dough bowl full of these, oh my goodness. So cute. So let me show y'all real quick. What time is it? I got to watch my time. We're good. We got a few minutes. I'm going to show y'all now with the orange one how you can do this without a sewing machine. Get my wired ribbon. And you don't have to use wired ribbon. I just kind of like it because it lets you kind of curl it a little bit. And we're just going to make our little lengths. Okay. Then I'm going to go right down through here and cut it in thirds. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, let's see. You're going to need a needle. And you can pick these up at Walmart. So I've got some old thread on that. I'm just going to, you can use embroidery thread or you can use your sewing thread. I'm just going to grab some of this sewing thread. Get a generous amount. Okay. And I'm going to double it. So I just want y'all to know that when you see sewing projects, don't worry about whether or not you have a sewing machine. And you don't have to have a fancy sewing machine to do some cute stuff. You know, all you need is that motor that's going to make the needle move up and down. That's all you need. Hey, Debbie from Arizona. Thank you. I'm so glad you're loving this. Okay. I'm going to thread my needle and hope that I can do it. Y'all, I went to the eye doctor today. Let me get these. I need to probably trim. There's little frayed ends that make it difficult sometimes to thread a needle. Got it. We got it. Okay, so by doubling my thread, I have this loop on the end. And this is going to help us tie our knot or our beginning stitch, okay? So I'm going to try to leave this flat so y'all can see exactly what we're doing when we sew this. It's just going to be straight stitching with a needle and thread, nothing fancy. So I have my 2 layers of fabric right here. And I've got the pretty sides on the inside. No, I don't want to do it that way. I'm going to do them on the outside. Glad I thought this through, huh? We're going to do it on the outside. Gonna make it easy. All right, so we're going to start probably about 1/4 of the way down on one of the sides, and we're going to go all the way through the fabric and pull our needle through. If I can get a hold of it. And then pull our thread all the way through. And then we're going to run our finger through that loop, and that's going to tie off our beginning stitch. Okay? And then we're just going to loosely stitch all the way around. Now this will take longer for sure than a sewing machine, but it's an option for you. Now one thing you can do also is you can take a straight edge and a pencil and make your stitching line so that you know you're staying straight. But I'm just going to wing it, and I'm not even coming in off this salvage or this raw edge as far as I probably would if I were on the sewing machine. This is maybe 1/8 of an inch inside. And it's pretty loose stitches. You can do them as tight or as loose as you want to. Okay. Hey, Christine, how are you? Hey, Teresa Conyers, excuse me. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Today's your birthday. That's awesome. So, tell me, how many of you guys have a sewing machine and think that you would enjoy doing something like this? Or if you don't have a sewing machine, would you be interested in doing the hand sewing? And y'all, it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, y'all, I think a project like this is way cuter if it's not perfect. That's just my opinion. That makes it more homemade looking, more vintage looking, you know. And we're just going down through the fabric and up through the fabric. We're just trying to get them to attach. Okay, there's no real right or wrong way here. And listen, if you got down to doing this, there's all kinds of YouTube videos, I'm sure, that could give you some little pointers on tips and tricks and how to do this. Now we're getting ready to put our ribbons in here. And so that's going to be a little tricky, but we're going to be able to get this done pretty good, I think. You used to love to sew. It's too fancy for you. Take it in and let them do it. Pay somebody. Teresa's got 2 sewing machines. Joan has a sewing machine. You don't have a sewing machine, Minnie. If y'all would be interested in a kit, please send me a private message. And I will send you some details, okay? Because I don't have them all figured out. So it might be tomorrow before I give you some details. Because I really need to put a pencil to it. I hadn't had time to really do that today. I'm just kind of lining up my ribbons right here. Trying to get them all layered. And then I'm going to stick them in here in the center. Okay. And then I'm going to try to hold it down with one finger, not let them go all kinds of crazy directions, and just kind of fan them out and position them. Okay. So that they'll look, you know, fanned out a little bit and not just kind of all stuck on each other. Make sure my lengths are good. Okay, so I'm going to hold it really well. Get a hold of my needle. It's not wanting to come to me. All right, so we're going to have to go through all of these thicknesses. I really need to turn this a little bit. So just be sure when you're going through there with your needle, you're going through all the thicknesses. Now, you're also probably going to want to have a little tighter stitch so that you're sure you're hitting all these different ribbons. So I'm trying to make my stitches And what I mean by tighter stitch, the stitches are closer together. I'm going to hold this up closer so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. It's kind of getting a hold of the ribbons here, keeping it all from knotting and tangling and all that. Okay, let me show y'all a little bit closer. I hope you can see. So down this side, I don't know if you can even see, starting right here, I'm kind of doing loose stitches. But as I come through to the top where the ribbons are, I want to have my stitches closer together. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. Yes, rickrack would be very cute. Yes, very cute. All right. Get my little ribbon. It got caught by that loop, so we just have to get it free. Free the ribbon. Okay. I love this iridescent green. I think it's so pretty. So don't let the fact that you don't have a sewing machine run you off from trying to do some sewing projects. You know, there was a time in our history that people didn't have sewing machines. They had a needle and thread, and they made amazing things. It just took longer, and there's not one thing wrong with that. You always have to kind of watch to keep your thread from knotting, and it just gets kind of twisted, and it becomes a knot. So you just got to watch that. I've got one right here I've got to get out. And if you can't get it out, just roll with it. Listen, don't stress. This is supposed to be a stress-free environment. Okay, now that I'm past that ribbon, I can kind of hold this up and go a little bit faster. I remember my grandmother would do several stitches, like she would gather it like this. Got about 3 stitches there, and then just pull the thread all the way through. That's another way you can do it that's a little bit faster. I'll start going down this side, and I'll do that if I can get my fingers in the right position. Let me let this thread untwist a little bit too. Every now and then you just got to let it dangle and unwind itself. Okay. I'm going to go a little bit faster down this other side so that we stay on time. Actually, y'all, I'm out of time. I can't believe it. Where did the time go, y'all? It's 9:46. I'm past time. Okay, so y'all get the gist of this. If you're interested in a kit, message me. If you're interested in purchasing them already finished, message me. And we'll go from there, okay? But y'all, thank you for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It seemed like everybody had a great time. So I don't have a clue who's next. Crap on the clock. Whoops. Hang on. I did my camera backwards. Sorry about that. I hit wrong buttons all the time. So you guys go see who's next, and y'all get some more inspiration. Thank you for being here. We'll do more sewing somewhere down the road. But I'm glad you were here. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Okay, bye.